Hello everybody out there and welcome back here with the future once again to another showcase and review. And today we're going to be checking out an action figure that I picked up in the clearance aisle for only $7. I haven't picked up any recent WWE action figures for a while, but this one was a WWE Elite Collection Flashback Series figure of Brian Pillman, one of my favorites from his WCW Flying Brian Pillman run. And yeah, I actually have a 1990 WCW Galoob figure from the Galoob line that they made in 1990 for WCW depicting Flying Brian Pillman, so I had to grab this guy and do a showcase and review. We're going to get a closer look here in a second. I'm going to add him to my mint on card wall of WCW, WWE, TNA action figures that I will show here at the end of my video. I'm going to put him up alongside them all there and then show the wall off. So yeah guys, make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video if you want to check that out. But I also have the WCW Brian Pillman here. They actually made a second series of these in the UK that I'd love to get some from, but I have the entire first wave from the year 1990 when I got them. I've had them ever since I was a kid. I'll be 36 years old next month, so yeah, these are getting up there in age. And Brian Pillman was actually one of the hardest ones to find in the wave, actually, I remember back then. But yeah, I want to go in more detail on those and do a new, I've already done showcase and review on those figures, but I want to do a new one, an updated one for everybody here on my channel that's new. But yeah, I want to thank everybody who subscribed lately, dropped any kind of comments, left any kind of feedback, given me any likes. I really appreciate it. If this is your first time viewing, do all that I just mentioned. And now, let's get into checking out this WWE Elite Collection Flashback Brian Pillman WCW figure. Okay, so here we have the Elite Collection Flashback Series wave that had the exclusive diorama display. It was series number 47B. Brian Pillman from his WCW Flying Brian days. And back there is my Galoob Flying Brian Pillman figure from WCW made by Galoob in 1990. And yeah, we're going to do a little comparison here with you can already see the similarities there. They both have the Cincinnati Bengals tights on. If anybody doesn't know, he played special teams for the Cincinnati Bengals back in the day too. And one thing that I have to have a complaint on this figure, it's going to be his hair. I would have much rather see them put him in this kind of a hair color than the darker wash there on the hair. He didn't have that till like later in his career, where his hair got darker. So I think they kind of went lackadaisical on that. They could have made it a lot more blonder for his Flying Brian Pillman run. As you can see there on the side, even his hair is a lot more blonder. He has the gold curly mullet there. But was always a huge fan of Brian Pillman. Everybody knows he went on to become the loose cannon towards the end of his WCW run, went to ECW and then to WWF, and ultimately he passed away sadly in 1997 before the Bad Blood pay-per-view that Kane made his debut in. So there's a fact that many might not know, but the night before that is when Brian Pillman, the loose cannon, passed away. And this is his Flying Brian Pillman run. You can see him smiling there. He's got a entrance vest and entrance shirt included here. And you can see the vest is the Stone Cold vest and the Macho Man shirt made into a Flying Brian Pillman shirt. And on some of the early run figures, they actually had with Macho Man vest and Steve Austin shirt up there instead of entrance vest and entrance shirt, but they must have changed it up. You can see the WWE logo prominent, very prominent behind the figure there. To the right, you can see he's got his white boots with black laces, the black knee pads, the Bengal tights, and then his Hollywood Blonde style vest, I guess, was used with a Steve Austin figure already, and this was used with the Macho Man, but it has his Flying Brian Pillman logo up on it on the front. Very cool. Elite Collection Flashback logo to the left with a picture of him from his 1990s WCW run as Brian Pillman. And it's cool that they put that logo there because that is the same logo that was being used when the 1990 Galoob figures were made. That was the logo that was being used in WCW. But there you have another picture of Pillman to the right there. You have your WCW logo up to the right, your 8+. I've showed all that off. This had a little bit of a damaging effect up on the top there to the packaging too, kind of broke, but nonetheless, he'll be cool on my carded wall. But for only $7, I couldn't complain. On the bottom of this figure, you have warnings and labels there. Your Mattel logo, of course. Contents, 1 figure and accessories. He's marked 2016, but this was a 2017 figure. He had 24 points of articulation as well. This figure does. When I looked up the details on him, I was able to find that out. For all you collectors out there that open them up and want to get them out of the packaging. But here you go to the back, and it says collect them all to create an exclusive diorama. And you see the diorama is like a ring with a steel cage around it. There's 6 other pieces that you can get from the other characters here that you can collect to create the exclusive diorama. It says you have Kane, The Rock, Goldust, and then Connor and Victor from SmackDown Live. Kane depicted for Raw, then Rock just a WWE legend, and then old school WWE logo there for Goldust. You have your network and WWE.com logos to the right down there, or to the left of the bottom there. And then to the right over here you have your small parts warning. And then it shows you that Brian Pillman includes a display stand and panel of the diorama, series number 47B, cage match diorama. And then you have some statistics like you would see on trading cards here on the back, which I thought was cool to give this figure. And it has weight 227, his height is 6 foot, from Cincinnati, Ohio. His ring attire depicted is February 91. And then he has a signature move as Air Pillman, and his career highlights were NWA champion, or NWA Tag Team Champion, WCW Tag Team Champion, and WCW Light Heavyweight Champion. So sorry there on the mess up there at the beginning, but I like the diorama in the back there of all the people, the crowd there. Light bulb flashes going off around Pillman. Very sweet. But yeah, overall, I'm really digging this figure. I do wish they would have gave him a lighter shade of hair, but that's really my only complaint. And they didn't have to put the Hollywood Blonde vest on that, because Flying Brian, initially did not wear the Hollywood Blonde's vest. But that's just a small thing there. Overall, I think it's a pretty damn good figure. But now, let's check out the WCW Galoob figure here for a little bit of a comparison. And you can see he's featured in the same exact attire. You get the white wrist tape, the white boots. They didn't make the laces black on the 90 Galoob figure, but you got your black knee pads, the Cincinnati Bengal tights. I almost think the likeness on the Galoob figure is better than the one that they did on the current 2017 figure. I mean, some may argue with that, but in my opinion, I think the Pillman face is better on the Galoob. So it's funny, the years go by, but the details sometimes don't really get that much better. Brian Pillman, of course, not alive to face scan anymore, but still, you think they could have done a little bit better job. The overall head and the hair are my overall complaint on this figure. But nonetheless, that's why I like keeping them carded, because you got Brian Pillman on there. This is Flying Brian Pillman, WCW, of course, in his classic Cincinnati Bengal tights, so you can't go wrong with that. So yeah, there they are. And now I'm going to hang him up, and we're going to check out the rest of my mint on-card figures that I'm going to display him alongside here. So yeah, let's check them out. So yeah, I got Pillman hanging up right here on my wall of carded figures here in my room, right next to his buddy Steve Austin from the Hollywood Blonde days. Also have a Steve Austin figure here up to the right. So we have Austin and Pillman. And then I have Triple H here. Batista. And Randy Orton. So the rest of my figures, you got Sheamus, Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, CM Punk. You have John Cena, and then the TNA Jax Basic Series of Kurt Angle, Jay Lethal, Suicide, Abyss, Kevin Nash, and Sting. So yeah, I want to thank everybody who has tuned in and checked this out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, give me a like, drop a comment down below. And yeah, guys, until next time, I really appreciate it. And as always, peace out.